Right, learners, in question 17, you are asked to calculate the debt-equity ratio and then the return on average capital employed. And I'm focusing on just those two to start with, because together with that, they ask you the business repaid a portion of the loan and comment on whether this was a wise decision or not, and it asks you to quote two financial indicators. Now, there's quite a lot that goes into this question, so let's just take it step by step. You are given some figures from last year as well, so I'm going to use those to build up in my comment. Now, the first thing, the debt-equity ratio. The debt-equity ratio measures the risk of a business. And the risk is because you borrow money and you have to pay it back. So that's why it looks at your non-current liability, your loan, generally, to your ordinary shareholders' equity. So in your calculation, first of all, you'll get a figure of 0.17 or 0.2. This is a low risk business at the moment. It is low risk because there's a lot more capital of the owners in this, because it's 0.1 compared to the loan. So if they had to pay back tomorrow, they were able to pay it. But if we look at the table, we were given 0.34 last year. And obviously, as a result of them paying off the loan, they've reduced the risk. So fine, that looks as though it's actually good. However, you cannot stop at that point. You need to go to the return on average capital employed. Now, this is not an easy calculation, please, but again, you've got the formulas there, so I'm not going to actually go over it now. The important thing is you get a return of 16.4%. Now, that means that using all your capital, the share capital plus the loan, this business is making a return of 16.4%. Last year, they were earning 18.6%, so it's gone down. So as a result of paying off the loan, they might have reduced the risk, but they've actually decreased the return. Now that is not good. However, we need to also compare it to the interest rates on the loans at the moment. And they tell you that last year there was an interest rate of 12.5%, and this year it's 13%. So last year you were borrowing at 12.5% to get a return of 18.6%. This year your return has dropped, but your interest rate has also increased. So you were making much more last time, the difference between those two. If you look at those two, there's a difference there of 6.1. Whereas if you look at this, it's only 3.4. Now, it is absolutely vital that this return is always above the interest rate. And that is what we refer to as your gearing position. And in this case, there is positive gearing. Now, what we mean by that is that you're borrowing at 13 and you're getting back 16. It's positive. You are gaining. But as a result of paying off this loan, you might have decreased the loan, but you've actually had decreased your return, and you've decreased the amount of the positive gearing. So if this trend was to carry on, it would not be good. So overall, was it a good idea? Based on these figures, no, it was not. Reducing the risk was not a problem. You were also a low risk, but you are now making a lot less return, and so therefore it was not a good idea.